Don't you just love Pokemon? I love Pokemon so much. From a collector's standpoint, from a competitive standpoint, I love playing the game. From a business standpoint, I love trying to figure out this business because it is constantly changing. It is so dynamic. It is constantly evolving and it's like an impossible brain teaser that you just trap yourself in. I think about it all the time, trying to get a grasp on understanding where things are going, what the market is doing, trying to get an understanding about allocations. It's all absolutely crazy. We're going to talk about all things Astral Radiance today. We're going to talk about Perspective Set List. We're going to talk about allocations, really get a better understanding of this set that is coming out May 27th. That means it's going to be legal June 10th for competitive play, which is just in time for the Milwaukee Regionals, which I think is June 17th. It's going to be a lot of fun. Before we jump into things, I just want to say thank you to you guys for just clicking on the video, for being here. I love chatting Pokemon, and you guys just giving me the chance. You guys just coming here means the world to me, so thank you so much for that. Don't forget, if you're new here, we're doing a Danny Phantump reprint on Evolving Skies because that set needs to be reprinted. It is getting absolutely crazy. If you want to be entered or learn more about it, just go back to the video that I posted a couple days ago on Friday, going over the Evolving Skies market. All you have to do to be entered to win is just leave a like on that video, leave a comment on that video, and make sure you're subscribed. Every week, we're going to choose a new winner every Friday until a reprint of Evolving Skies finally comes. It might be a lot of booster boxes that we give away, but I'm going to jump right into Astral Radiance things because I don't know what's going on with this set from allocation numbers. I saw Mason posted a video about only getting one wave and his waves got reduced. That just goes to show you the differences between distributors across the world, across the United States, even across the world. Everything's different. It's all different. So we're going to jump into that. But first of all, I wanted to highlight this site, this Justin Basil site, and I'm going to leave a link for this specific page in the description down below so you can kind of look at it on your own. But this resource is just fantastic. Justin does such a phenomenal job of highlighting these different sets and highlighting a lot of stuff, really. But the deep dive that he goes into with these sets, I can't even imagine the amount of time that he puts into this website. So huge hats off to Justin Basil. Like, this is just a phenomenal website. We're going to go through the highlights first before we jump into some of the other stuff. This set is going to feature 189 cards prior to Secret Rares, prior to Trainer Gallery, and we do know that there is going to be a subset in this set of Trainer Gallery cards, so we don't know exactly how many they're going to be. We don't know which ones they're going to be. We won't find that information out, unfortunately, for a few weeks, but right now, this set kind of has a weird feel to it, right? It kind of reminds us of maybe like Chilling Reign, where there's some really cool alternate arts in it, but we don't really know what to think of it. I don't know if it's got as bad of a feel as what Fusion Strike had, or as what Battle Styles had, but it's kind of a mess set so far. There's some really cool Pokemon, and then a lot of it that doesn't draw a whole lot of attention, and maybe that's because it's coming off of Brilliant Stars, which had Charizard and had a lot of cards with the Trainer Gallery, which were evolutions where people were super excited about. Evolving Skies is still in format where a lot of people are trying to get their hands on all those alternate art evolutions and the alternate art Rayquaza. So this is kind of a mess set right now, but we don't know what Trainer Gallery cards are in it. So it could be, all of a sudden, boom, here's a Charizard card that's in the set from Trainer Gallery, and people are like, oh, this set is going to be amazing. It's going to be absolutely incredible. We'll just kind of have to play the waiting game to see what all comes out for that. But this Justin Basil website, like I said, definitely check it out. I think this is the first set where the alternate art Pokemon are like all jaw-dropping for me, where I want them all, and I don't mean to FOMO on you guys. I'm not trying to cause any of that, but this Machamp V right here is absolutely stunning. I absolutely love how it looks with him running down the street carrying all this food. It just looks so incredible. This is definitely my chase card for this set. There's a lot of other cards that are really like that. The Sneasler that's right next to it looks absolutely phenomenal with the panoramic view, looking over really the entire village, looking over all of the landscape. It looks so good. And then you've also got the Dialga, you've got the Palkia, you've got the Lilligant, you've got the Beedrill. They all look incredible. And this is the first set where I'm like, I really need to get all the alternate arts. There's other sets where I like a lot of the alternate arts, but I'm not like, I need to get all of them. This is kind of the first set where it's like, I need to get all of them. Then you've also got some really cool full art trainers that are in the set. We've got Grant, we've got Choi, we've got Roxanne and Kamado, and I'll let you go through all of these on your own if you want to. I don't want to waste a bunch of your time, and I know you can kind of look at a lot of this information by yourself. We've got some really cool full art Pokemon. I love the look of some of these. Luxray V seems very simplistic, but at the same time, I just love Luxray, so it really jumps off the page at me. Jirachi looks phenomenal. Then you've got Sneasler, you've got Dialga, you've got Weirdeer. Like, all this stuff is so great. And then you've also got these new special rarity Pokemon that are making their way into the scene. We've got this new gimmick that Pokemon has come out with the Radiant cards. Radiant Greninja could be really good in competitive play We might see Radiant Hawlucha, Radiant Heatran looks really cool. And then you've also got the gold cards. You've got the Samurott, you've got the Dialga, and you've got the Palkia. So a lot of really cool cards in this set, but again, not necessarily something that jumps off the page at a lot of us, which is totally understandable. Then you've got some cool rainbow rare Pokemon. You've got some cool rainbow rare trainers that are going to be in here, and then a lot of really good deck cards, which we'll talk about in just a second. Here's the secret rares that you can kind of expect. You've got Jubilife Village, Path to the Peak, Temple of Sinnoh, Trekking Shoes, Double Turbo Energy, and Choice Belt. Some competitive cards that people might want, you know, in their deck, high rarity cards, things like that. This Path to the Peak looks really, really cool, sitting with the gold snowflakes there. I really like it. If you look at the 4-player section here, the Radiant Greninja with the ability Concealed Card, you can discard an energy card from your hand and then you get to draw 2 cards. You've got Moonlight Shuriken, which is really cool. You've got this Magnezone with Giga Magnet. Once during your turn, you may look at the top 6 cards of your deck and attach any metal energy cards you find there to your Pokemon in any way you like, which is really, really cool. A lot of other really nice competitive cards might shake up the format even more. We're looking at a finals matchup right now in Germany that's featuring what? Whimsicott V-Star, kind of coming out of nowhere, which is really cool. We also saw Sylveon make the top 8, which is super neat. A lot of unexpected stuff. Otherwise, it's just been a very Urshifu-dominated format, which is different because we're so used to Arceus running around like crazy and Mew VMAX running around like crazy. So EUIC has been a lot of fun to keep up with. All right, so definitely check out the Justin Basil website. I highly recommend it. It gives you a really good understanding of what's going on in this set. Now I want to talk to you about allocations, but before we look at the actual numbers that have been released to us, so this is what we know we are getting as a company, I want to talk to you about really where the market is right now when it comes to ordering Pokemon. So there was a time about 2 years ago now where you could just freely order from distributors. I could call up my distributor to say, hey, I want 6 cases of Burning Shadows, I want 6 cases of Evolutions, I want 6 cases of the new Rebel Clash set that's coming out, I want 6 cases of basically whatever they had in stock, and they had a warehouse full of a ton of stock. And then all of a sudden things changed. Champions Path hit, and we were told, hey, this is how much you're getting. Vivid Voltage hit, this is how much you're getting. And you weren't able to really place pre-orders anymore. Instead, they were doing what they called force allocations, where they would order an amount from Pokemon. Pokemon would say, hey, this is how much we can print. This is how much we can give you. And distributors would split that up amongst all LGSs and say, this is all we can give you for Wave 1. This is what we can give you for Wave 2. And all of a sudden you had these waved releases where it was like, okay, well, I know I'll get 500 boxes of Brilliant Stars Wave 1. There'll be a second wave that comes out where I'll get 200 boxes, and so on and so forth. And you could kind of divvy up where you would be able to pre-sell and pre-order and do things like that. We are starting, hopefully, to kind of get away from that, because recently we were finally able to order new releases without allocations being forced on us. So ordered without allocations, we had the new V-Hero tins that recently released and the new Bolton collections that recently released. Those were not forced allocations in a lot of cases. A lot of those were like, hey, how many do you want? Let us know. We'll order this much from Pokemon. And Pokemon might even have some backstock at their warehouses. Then we had the Arceus figure collections, which are really, really popular. Now, those you were allowed to order, and then they ended up forcing allocations out, so we'll see what happens with those. Same things with the Pokeball tins and the Lunchbox tins, which are coming out in a couple of weeks here, which are the new collector's chests that are coming out. And then finally the Juniper boxes as well. You were able to kind of order how many you wanted, and then we'll see what they meet up with allocations. But this is kind of the first time in a really long time where allocations aren't necessarily forced on you right away, which is really cool. For Astral Radiance, it does look like it is going to be split up into 2 waves. Now, that's at least according to our distributor. For us specifically, this could be different for a lot of different companies, and that's something that's super important to understand. What an allocation might look like from one distributor to one specific LGS could be very different to a different LGS from a different distributor. So that's always kind of a little bit confusing when a lot of people are trying to understand the market and where it's going. It looks like with Wave 1, there is going to be a lot of what we normally see: booster boxes, Elite Trainer boxes, 3-pack blisters, sleeve boosters, build and battle kits, build and battle stadiums, and then the check lane blisters as well. However, Wave 2 looks like it's only going to feature booster boxes and sleeved booster packs. Now, that again is specific to us. There could be ETBs or other ancillary products like that that come out in Wave 2 for other companies, but not so much the case for our specific allocations. And I think that's very important to remind everybody. The information that I'm giving you is very specific to us. So what might happen with us could not happen with every other store. If we look at booster boxes, we are actually getting a significant higher portion with Wave 1. Now, Wave 2 is expected to come out sometime maybe at the end of June, so it's going to be about a month, a little bit more than a month after release where Wave 2 is going to come out, and it is significantly and substantially smaller than what we are getting for Wave 1. So these numbers right here, I'm comparing this plus 20%, minus 10%. I'm comparing these two Brilliant Stars, which is already a little bit of a step up from Fusion Strike. So we're getting about 20% more boxes than what we typically got, or than what we typically get, than what we did get for Brilliant Stars. And then for Wave 2, we're getting about 10% less in Wave 2 than what we got for Brilliant Stars Wave 2. Now, we do know a Wave 3 of Brilliant Stars is coming. That was kind of added last minute. We don't know if there's going to be a third wave or additional reprints of Astral Radiance. I think a lot of that's going to depend on how the market goes, how the market ends up shaping out right when the set gets released. Overall, for the first two waves, we're getting about 9% more when it comes to booster boxes than what we typically get. 3-pack blisters is the only product that we really took a hit on, where we're getting about a third less. So we're getting about 66% of what we got for Brilliant Stars. So this is an ancillary product that's kind of gone down. And I think a lot of this has to do with the fact that they're printing more of these to kind of distribute to big box stores. I think a lot of these ancillary products, like 3-pack boosters or blisters, like these Elite Trainer boxes, sleeve boosters, things like that, I think a lot of those are kind of going to these marketing companies that are going to be stocking big box stores, because Pokemon is still a very in-demand product for a lot of people. They go over to their big box store, they want to make sure they can get their hands on the newest set, and if those sets sell out right away, they're not available anymore. So I think they want to kind of divvy up those allocations a lot more to those big box stores. That's just my guess. I don't know if that's the case or not, but we're getting about 33% less for the 3-pack blisters. Everything else is pretty much the same. So Wave 2, we're not getting anything else except for sleeve boosters and booster boxes. And then Wave 1, we're getting the same amount of ETBs, the same amount of sleeve boosters, build and battle kits, build and battle stadiums, and the check lane kits, which means overall our allocations look very, very similar to what we got for Brilliant Stars, with a little bit more in the booster box department and a little bit less in the 3-pack blister department. If we look at how Astral Radiance is doing, it's doing a little bit better than what I think a lot of people anticipated it doing. So this is going directly from TCG Player. You can see we're looking at market data right now. The lowest ones right now on TCG Player are selling for about $130. Now you can find them for cheaper than that. You can look at your local LGS and see what they're charging. You can look at different websites and see what they're charging. I know there's a lot of sites out there that are charging right around $115 for a pre-order, somewhere around there. You can find them on eBay for probably that price, maybe even a little bit less. But if we look, this went down to $107.96 on April 8th, and then kind of shot right back up to about that $125 marker before going up a little bit. Now it's sitting at $129.48. If we look over the last week, there has been 263 units sold. So that means this is starting to tick up a little bit if we start comparing it to previous data before the last week. And this number is going to continue going up and up more and more as the set gets closer to release. So it'll be very interesting as we start getting a better understanding of what's going to be in this set to kind of pay attention to this, watch this, and we'll kind of update you guys as we go to see how this set is doing, how it's tracking, to get a better understanding of where the market's going to be, because we don't want to be in a situation where we're paying $140, $145 right around release day. I'd rather, give you guys the information where you can get it for $115, $120 a couple weeks before, as long as you don't wait and all of a sudden it's starting to sell, 500, 600 units a week, like what we saw with Brilliant Stars, where things just went absolutely nuts. The good thing about Brilliant Stars is that Wave 2 did come much earlier than what it was anticipated, so that kind of brought the price down a little bit. But now if you look, you're paying MSRP for Brilliant Stars, which isn't bad by any means, but you're paying MSRP for Brilliant Stars for quite a while, despite Wave 3 not coming out, because we haven't had any additional waves of Brilliant Stars coming. So it'll be very interesting to track, get a better understanding. Overall, it looks like allocations are actually okay for us specifically. I know some people have seen a decrease in allocations when it comes to this, so it'll be interesting to see what the market looks like as a whole once the set comes out. But it looks like for us specifically, it is going to be split up into 2 waves. I'm really hoping that eventually they'll be able to get rid of this waved release and they'll be able to just kind of push everything up into Wave 1, and then if they have to reprint or release additional waves, they can kind of do that as they see fit. With Pokemon purchasing the Millennium Print Group, that definitely seems a lot more feasible now than what it was before, because they can kind of print to demand in specific situations at least. So I think that's going to, in the long run, help out with a lot of collectors and a lot of LGSs and so on and so forth. So I hope you guys like the information. If you do, please hit that like button down below. Please leave a comment. Let me know what you think of Astral Radiance. Those 2 things go a very long way for the algorithm, so I'd really appreciate it. But most importantly, if you could hit that subscribe button, that would be absolutely amazing. You guys are awesome. I really appreciate you. I will see you soon. Until next time, guys. Peace.